And we're live. All right. Welcome, everybody. Sorry, we're a little bit late in getting started today. It's always so much fun. Brandy, now I'm not hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Oh, no.
I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Good. You were laughing so quietly, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, good. Thank you. So that was the quietest laugh I've ever heard. So, guys, we just apologize. Of course, always fun going through technical issues, but we are here live with the one and only Randy Thomas. Randy, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us here in our Facebook group.
First of all, thank you for inviting me. And I just want to say that you, Ms. Ann Ganguza, are the epitome of grace under pressure. I was freaking out with my Google Chrome and signing into Facebook and all of this stuff because, as most of you know, other than editing a little audio, I'm pretty much challenged with technology. And you remained this cool, calm cookie that talked to me and walked me through everything, even though it was quickly closing on Facebook Live. So I thank you
so much.
But that says a lot about you and the kind of person you are when things go hairy like that, to just maintain your cool. And I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. All those many years in tech support, I think, helped me with that one. And you know what? I just love doing new things like this. Facebook Live, it's still a kind of a brand new technology, but I think it's so useful to really get you in front of an audience and that may or may not know you. So I'm super excited to introduce you to my Peeps group and to have you teaching a class live with us in Irvine next Saturday. So I'm super excited for the very first time for you to do that. And it's an exclusive class that you're going to be teaching on Live Announce. And so I really wanted to get you in front of the members here to talk a little bit about you, how you got started in the business. And if I can add that I am so inspired by you as a woman, because you've really broken lots of ground in the voiceover industry with Live Announce. And I'd really like you to share that story, because that really affects, I think, all of us. And it really gives us a lot of happiness and hope, those of us that are starting off in the industry. So if you could start off telling us a little bit about how you got into voiceover, because I know your roots are in radio, and how you got into Live Announce.
Well, that was always the thing. For me, radio came first, but it was interesting because I remember the way I got the first job in New York on WPLJ. I had gone for a tour of the radio station coming out of Detroit, and I was just at my second job in Detroit. And when I walked into WPLJ, they said, "Hey, hair salon is advertising with us. Can you do the commercial?" So I went in a production room, and I had zero training at that point. I somehow was fumbling my way through being an on-air DJ, but I literally just read the copy. I think reading cold has been a gift of mine, which would be interesting that I would find my way into Live Announce later. But at the time, I remember it was that commercial that literally got New York calling me saying, "We'd like you to come and be on the air." So I did 6 to 10 at night in New York. And this was like the mid-70s. And my radio career progressed. But truthfully, the big thing that happened for me in 1986 was being invited to Orange County to Hooked on Phonics. And I became the voice of that program and product, which was a very proud thing for me. I didn't have any kids at the time. And doing this program and teaching children how to read, it really brought out the teacher in me.
I learned, yes, Hooked on Phonics. I did. That was wonderful.
So, gee, that shows how long ago the program was created. It was in the late 80s.
Well, yeah, and what an icon you are in the industry. So, again, truly.
So I got to do that commercial, and it was huge. It was a real game changer. And then I was on the radio in Los Angeles for years, and then I was doing Mornings on the Wave, and that's when the Oscars invited me to audition. And when I booked that in 1993, I didn't realize that I was, crashing a glass ceiling. I found out around the time I was doing it that no other woman really had done this in the history. I just thought maybe in the recent past they had a woman, but no, they really had until 1993. And then everything changed for me. I got fired from radio. So for anyone that's ever been fired or lost a job that's been your life, just know it's what do they say when a door closes, a window opens. Mm-hmm. The window to the next part of my life, which became voiceover, was that window, and I never looked back. The good news is that I kept radio stations by doing imaging, for radio stations. And in fact, last night I had Kelly, who does all the voice over for iHeart for the top 40 stations, Kiss FM and whatnot. And she's a first, vice president of radio imaging at iHeart. So it's always great to see women crashing the ceiling in whatever they're doing. And that is in voiceover, radio production as well as voiceover. So she's really created her own history. But thank you for acknowledging that I was the first. Of course, television is very proactive, not reactive. So what happened, or reactive, not proactive, I've got to get those two straight, because once I did the Oscars, then the Emmys and the SAG Awards and, Tony Awards, Kennedy Center, all of those shows sort of found their way into my path. And it's been quite a blessing, quite a ride.
How would you say your radio career helped you in live announce?
Absolutely, because radio, the basic training is that you're only speaking to one person, whether you're in New York with a listening audience of several million, like in Los Angeles, or just a couple of 100,000 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I work. Who knew? But you're talking to one person. Mm-hmm. And I'm very blessed. I have my mom. I kind of always put her out there. I'm always talking to my mom. I like to make her happy when I do an award show. But really, it comes down to one person. And if the one person you pick is someone you love, it will convey that warmth and that genuineness. And I think that's been one of the helpful things for me.
Wow. That's great. I want to just say to any of you out there that are checking us out on Facebook Live, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, say hi in the comments, tell us where you're coming in from. And I want to let you know that I just love this platform, and I love actually being able to offer classes to the VO Peeps remotely and locally. So what's really great is that people can have they can experience you, Randy, as an instructor, whether they live in California or they live across the country. And so I really am happy to be able to offer this to our global members. And if you can talk a little bit about the class, which is next Saturday, by the way, next Saturday, everybody, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be 4 hours of wonderful, awesome live announce. And it's not just you, Randy. You have invited a friend of yours. If you tell us a little bit about who else is going to be joining you in the class.
I'm going to bring him up in Facebook. My friend Steve Ray, who I met, interestingly, in, there's his picture. He is a live announcer. He recently took over the inaugural duties of the announcer when we had this last inauguration in January. So he is doing big, big things, and I'm really excited. When I met him, he was helping put my booth together at the Kennedy Center Honors, and now he's doing huge things. So it just goes to show you, he's a genuine, nice guy, but he knows all about live announce. He's been doing it for years, and now, like I said, he's finally got that foothold in Washington as one of those established voices. Mm-hmm. So Steve is going to come on. We're going to talk about how folks can find local live announce jobs where they are, no matter where they are in the country. So Steve's going to join us, and we'll play with some copy, and we'll have folks read live. We'll talk about all of the aspects to a live presentation and what it takes to really stay in the moment, how to take care of your voice, what to eat, what not to eat before you go live, or even before you do a session, really, the things that create the mouth noise, or when you're in a highly stressed situation. If you've been eating a lot of sugar, what tends to happen is your immune system drops. And especially if you have a heavy hit on your heart, the last time Ann and I were going to get together, minutes before the broadcast, I called her hysterically crying because I just found my cat had died in my house, and I was freaking out. But it's those kinds of things that are emotional, they're heavy, and if I had been eating a lot of sugar, I know I would have gotten sick right behind that. But again, I try to avoid sugar. I try to avoid the things that will create not only a drop in the immune and the ability for something to take over, but also just to keep your palate and your ability to articulate really clean. So, yeah, so we're excited about that.
Well, I'm going to say that so are my peeps, because literally there are only 4 spots left. And without me trying to sound like, a cheap salesman here, really, there's only 4 spots left to participate. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to have Diana post the link below. If you're interested in joining this class, this is a never before exclusive class taught just for the VO peeps, and it is going to be live with Randy here in Orange County. So only 4 spots left for participants, but we do also have audit seats available. So if you want to just learn about the live announce industry, live announce voiceover niche market, you can join us live or remote with an audit seat as well. And I think it is so interesting in terms of, a specialized genre of voiceover, this live announce. I mean, it really truly is unlike any other type of voiceover that you can really train for. So I think that this is a really unique opportunity for those of you that had any inkling or interest in it whatsoever to just come and experience this class.
Yeah, because whether you envision doing big live announce or the fashion shows that come to your town or the big, corporate events that are at your Hiltons or Marriott's or whatever that are using their ballrooms for their events, those are places where you can actually earn money to do it. But what's even more fun is when you can help your local school or, anytime a disaster hits, there's got to be fundraising after the event, after that effect. And so anytime you can lend your voice in the way that it's needed for fundraising, it's a very specific task, and that's all part of our live announce afternoon.
And one thing also when I was looking over your website, and Diana, I'm going to actually give you Randy's website link to post in the comments below. It's not just that you did live announce once for the Oscars or the Tonys, or it was like 18 times for the Tonys. So
19.
19. Oh my God, 19. You got to update your website. So tell me what is if you had one tip in terms of your secret to longevity in live announce, what would you say to the peeps out there is a helpful tip to keep them in the industry?
Well, first of all, the fact that I've been back now 8 times for the Academy Awards, which is, again, glass ceiling. No woman and no announcer in recent years in the last 20 or so, has done that. So 8-time return to the Oscars, and it's an amazing opportunity every time. I mean, I live for a producer to give me the confidence that they have in me to just be the best that I can be. And I live announce does that for me. And when you do that and you show up, I would say one of the keys is don't get too hung up on what you're doing and where you are. Like, if you can't wait to get out there to see all the celebrities, I mean, it's exciting, but you need to really stay calm and forget that it's because the rehearsals are kind of boring up until the day. And then when that day comes and everyone is in their gowns, their finest threads, and they're looking amazing on the red carpet, it can get to your head. So at that point, that's when I go more into a meditation place, and I try to close it all out and just stay. But I dress for the red carpet. I used to do it not necessarily to get on the red carpet, but just because I needed to feel like I was at the party. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could have just worn all black like most people that work behind the scenes do. But then I'm always, begging for a ball ticket or something. And if you get lucky, you've got to have the right outfit to do that. But yeah, I mean, you have to calm down about what it is you're doing and just focus on the task at hand. And that's getting the words right from the page to the microphone.
Fantastic. And you're going to be telling us all sorts of secrets and tips on how to do that. We're going to do some great workout exercises with Randy, as well as having her friend Steve join us, which is like not just Randy, but Randy and Steve. So thank you so much, Randy, for joining us this morning, and thanks for talking and being so inspiring for all of us out here. I really appreciate it. And you guys, again, if you are interested, we've only got 4 seats left. Make sure you sign up at the vopeeps.com website. And Randy, you're the best. I am so excited to see you next week, and you get to meet the studio cats.
I know, I can't wait. I'm excited to meet them.
Yeah.
Kitty babies are so cute, so I'll need a little Kit Kat love, and I'll leave Magic the Great Dane home.
There you go. That's right. All right, Randy, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next week. Peeps, take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, Peeps.
Awesome.